वल्लभा गिरवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधा कृष्ण चंद्र राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग जय निताय गौरांग जय प्रहलाद नरसिम्हा प्रहलाद नरसिम्हा प्रहलाद नरसिम्हा जय सुदर्शना जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद् हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय। श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th Canto, 10th Chapter, text number 14. Ya etat kirtayen mahyam. Ya etat kirtayen mahyam. Tvaya Gītam idam naraha. Tvaya Gītam idam naraha. Tvam cha mam cha smaran kale. Tvam cha mam cha smaran kale. Karma bandhat pramuchyate. Karma bandhat pramuchyate. Ya etat kirtayen mahyam. Tvaya Gītam idam naraha. Tvam cha mam cha smaran kale. Karma bandhat pramuchyate. Ya etat kirtayed mahyam. Tvaya Gītam idam naraha. Tvam cha mam cha smaran kale. Karma bandhat pramuchyate. ya etat kirtayenmahyam tvaya gitam idam naraha tvam cha mam cha smaran kale karma bandhat pramuchyate ya etat kirtayenmahyam tvaya gitam idam naraha tvam cha mam cha smaran kale karma bandhat pramuchyate ya etat kirtayenmahyam tvaya gitam idam naraha tvam cha mam cha smaran kale karma bandhat pramuchyate yaha anyone who etat this activity kirtayet chants mahyam unto me tvaya by you Geetam prayers offered idam this naraha human being tvam you cha as well as mam cha me also smaran remembering kale in due course of time karma bandhat from the bondage of material activities pramuchyate becomes free. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedant Swami Prabhupada. Translation. One who always remembers your activities and my activities also, and who chants the prayers you have offered, becomes free in due course of time from the reactions of material activities. Please repeat. One who always remembers your activities and my activities also, and who chants the prayers you have offered, becomes free in due course of time from the reactions of material activities. Purport. Here it is stated that anyone who chants and hears about the activities of Prahlāda Mahārāja and in relationship with Prahlad's activities, the activities of Narsingadev, gradually becomes free from all the bondage of fruitive activities. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yam hina vyatyantyate purusham purusharshabha samma dukkha sukham dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते. One who is not disturbed in spite of the threefold miseries, who is not elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. A devotee should not be aggrieved in an awkward position, nor should he feel extraordinarily happy in material opulence. This is the way of expert management of material life. Because a devotee knows how to manage expertly, he is called Jivan Mukta. As Rup Goswami explains in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Iha yasya harer dasya karmana manasa gira nikhilasvapi avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. A person acting in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, in the service of Krishna with his body, mind, intelligence, and words, is a liberated person even within this material world. Although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities, because of constantly engaging in devotional service, in any condition of life, a devotee is free from all material bondage. Bhakti punati mannishta shwapakan api sambhavat. Even one born in a family of meat eaters is purified if he engages in devotional service. Srila Jiva Goswami cites this verse in logically supporting that anyone who chants about the pure life and activities of Prahlāda Mahārāja is freed from the reactions of material activities. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Narottam Das Thakur has sung in very famous song Hari Hari Bifale Janame Guaino Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Shuniya Bish Khaino. So here Narottam Das Thakur, he is representing himself as an ordinary man. So what is the situation of an ordinary man? Hari Hari Bifale Janame Guaino. So when somebody asked Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, what is your favorite song? So it is heard that Srila Prabhupada told, this is my favorite song. So that's very important. That's why Prabhupada has told that I like this so much. Hari Hari Bifale Janame Goaino. So this Janame, Manushya Janama Paya, I have got this human form of life, but Goaino, I have wasted it. Uselessly I wasted, Bifale, without getting any desired result. Because I have not worshipped Radha and Krishna, I have knowingly drunk poison, it is told here. Janiya Shuniya Bishekhaino. So this is called Parampara knowledge, as we have discussed Bhakti Vinod Thakur's song in last class and before that. Anadi Karma Phale Padi Bhavar Nav Jale Tari Bare Na Dekhi Upaye. Ei Vishaya Hala Hale Divanishi Hiya Jwale Man Kabu Sukh Nahi Paye. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur is also telling the same thing. Vishaya Hala Hale. I have drunk this poison of worldly activities. And my mind has never got pleasure here. Man Kabu Sukh Nahi Paye. So he is telling the worldly activities as poison, Hala Hale. And here also Narottam Das Thakur is telling the same thing. Janiya Shuniya Vish Khainu. So all the acharyas, they give the same understanding that this material world is, this material enjoyment, sense enjoyment is wish. It is poison. And poison causes our death. It causes burning in the heart. But unfortunately, people are not aware of this nature of the sensual activities. That is why Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam compares. So this is very, very important to understand. Shvavidvara hoshtra kharai samstutay purushay pashuhu nayat karna patho petho jatu nam gadagrajaha. Those who do not hear Krishna Katha, such people are compared to, or those who praise such people who have no interest in hearing Krishna Katha, they are compared to the four animals. And one such comparison is given to camel. Why a specific comparison to camel is given? Because camel eats thorns. And when the thorns, because thorn is sharp, it will hurt, it will pierce the cheeks and tongue. So the blood oozes out. And that blood, camel thinks, oh, it is very nice, it is juice. It is juice of thorns. I am enjoying it. So the camel does not understand that thorns have no capacity to produce any kind of juice. The fruits can produce juice, but camel thinks that no, these thorns are producing juice, and this is very nice, very tasty. And I do not know why my mouth is paining today. I do not know destiny is like this. Whenever I come to enjoy this wonderful juice, my mouth starts paining. I do not know why. So this is how we all think. We have come here to enjoy this material world. And when we try to enjoy, we think, oh, this thing is the difficulty. If this is not there, then I could have enjoyed my life very nicely. But I do not know that very enjoyment is causing all the trouble in my life. They think juice is because of thorns and pain is because of something else. Circumstantially, I am suffering. They are not able to understand that this very material activity which you think. So I was long ago, we watched many episodes. So I was watching one horror episode or horror movie, it was short film. So many people, they get trapped, and it's a very old bungalow, as it happens in a standard way. They go there to take rest, to enjoy their picnic. And who lives in the bungalow? Watchman. Caretaker is there. And who lives there along with caretaker? Ghost. And these people, they go there. People warn them, don't go there. But atheists, no, I want to stay there. And they start staying there. Then what happens? Then one by one, they are dying. Who is killing them? Ghost. But they have one friend in the house. Who is he? The watchman. He guides them, he helps them. Always. They think he is the only savior. And ultimately one person remains. And then he realizes actually watchman is ghost. Then this person commits suicide. He has no hope. Nobody can save me. So in a similar fashion, we think that this sense enjoyment is saving me. It is giving me great pleasure in this world. But no, sense enjoyment only is killing us. So that is why this material energy is compared to witch. Which kills, it haunts. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells, Ji Vijago Gora Chandra Bole, ki wake up sleeping souls. How long will you keep on sleeping in the lap of witch called Maya? So we think this material energy is source of great pleasure, but this is witch. She is killing us, just like Putna. She decorated herself very nicely, assumed a very beautiful form, like a heavenly woman. And everyone got captivated, but actually she was a witch. So in a similar fashion, this material energy, witch of material energy, has taken very attractive and beautiful form. And the whole world is captivated. Just like all the Vrajvasis, they thought, oh, some Apsara had come, or maybe Lakshmi ji personally has come. She has come to take care of Krishna. But they could not see the real nature of that witch. She was a horrible demoness who had come to kill Krishna, but she assumed a very beautiful form. In a similar fashion, this material world, it has assumed a very attractive form. And everybody is thinking, oh, this is so pleasant, such a nice place. However, they are not able to understand the nature of this world. What is the nature? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is certified that this material world is a place of miseries. It is full of miseries. So in this place full of miseries, nobody can be happy. That is why we see recently one person who was bringing people out of their distress, one of the leading YouTubers, of course, with all compassion and respect for him. Unfortunately, he has been suffering from depression himself. And he's telling for many years, last 3 years at least. So this is not to criticize. We are all in this material world. We are all ignorant. We all want to enjoy this material world. That is why we are here. But it is important to discuss in order to understand that the people who are so-called very, very successful, that he is one of the top 5 YouTubers of the country. Millions of followers, very wealthy, married the girl he wanted, following the career he wants, the right kind of career. He does not even earn money out of his such motivation. He tells, no, this is my passion. I like doing it, so I'm doing it. My profession is something else. I do business. So he's doing the work which he wants to do 100%. And he has got great success in that field also. But even after that, even after motivating people, he himself is battling depression. And it is very good that he has actually told people very openly. Otherwise, other motivational speakers, even though they are distressed, they will still inspire without telling that. But at least he is very honest. So why this is happening? Because actually it is a great disservice to the people to motivate them to become happy in this material world. Rather, this motivational talk is actually killing people. It is murder. If you are encouraging people that by doing any activity you can become happy, that is cheating and rather murder, because this material happiness is sweet poison. If you are encouraging somebody, enjoy the sweetness, enjoy this poison, so then you are killing that person. So similarly, anybody who is encouraging people to enjoy this material world, actually he is killing. So thus, that is why it is told in Bhagavad Gita, the vision, the perspective of a spiritualist is completely different from that of a materialist. Sometimes people tell, as another devotee who was very regular, again from your college only, from IIT, and probably he might be hearing or he will listen the lecture in future. So please don't mind, I discuss just so that everyone understands. I don't reveal the names, don't worry. So very nice. I am greatly fond of him, and very intelligent. And I was just discussing with him again some time back. So very successful, very good branch in the best institute of the country, and then went abroad, did MS from again a very good university, very good looking, good body, good parents, pious, everything is all right, very gentle behavior, very clean heart. And unfortunately, he has been also battling from this trouble for a very, very long time. And now he is having anxiety still about his career. So I told him, just see, you are from the best institute of the country and you are having best profiles in the best institutes of the country. But still, why you are having anxiety now? Like this anxiety never goes away from life. Rather, the more you want to enjoy in this material world, the more your anxiety will build up. That is why we should remember always this very important verse of Prahlāda Mahārāja. Sukhaye dukha mokshaya sankalpa iha karmena. Everyone is working to mitigate the distress and increase happiness of life. But one is happy in this world so long one does not endeavor to increase happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for material enjoyment, his conditions of distress begin immediately. So as soon as one starts his activities to become happy in this material world, his conditions of distress begin immediately. That is why the whole world is puzzled. The most successful people are most unhappy. This is the understanding that we have. The greatest of all times are greatly unhappy in all the fields. But unless somebody has got mercy of Guru and Krishna, one is not able to have this understanding. He thinks, oh, there is some pleasure in the thorns, but yes, somehow my mouth is paining. He is not able to understand that these material activities only, this only is poison, which I am thinking is nectar. It is very sweet. So that is the nature of material world. In Bhagavatam it is mentioned, as soon as one takes first step to increase one's happiness in life, Once conditions of distress begin immediately. And because the whole world is working very hard to become happy, the distress is increasing in the world. When people were satisfied, as it is told here, people were knowing what is the aim of life. The aim is liberation. And who attains liberation? Yam hina vyatyante te purusham purusharshabha. One who does not get disturbed by situations created of happiness and distress in this material world. Situations will be created of happiness, just like now. This is very pleasant. It is the onset of winters. But when winters increase, it is unpleasant. So situations of happiness will come, will go away. Situations of distress will come, and they also will go away. And one should learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Krishna is telling tolerate, tolerate, tolerate. They are telling no, become happy, change. Try to change the situation, become happy. No. So this is very important. If we work, if I am working in my life to become happy, I will become more and more distressed. But this understanding is not easy unless one receives mercy of Guru and Krishna. One remains like a camel, thinking that, oh, this is enjoyment. Somehow I am suffering. Let me try to fix. Let me take some ointment and then eat more thorns so that I can enjoy. So that is not going to help. As long as there is desire in the heart to enjoy in this material world, our distress will remain, rather it will increase. Anihaya sukhavrita. But if one does not work hard to become happy in this material world, so long he remains happy. That is the nature. And when one is happy in such a manner, he is always satisfied, then one can actually execute Bhakti Yoga. So Prabhupada explains, one has to be very jolly in order to make advancement in spiritual life. Remaining jolly, happy is very, very important. So when one is jolly, then one executes Bhakti Yoga, advancement is very rapid. But why people are not able to understand, that is why these words are very important. Janiya Shuniya Bishikhainu, it is told here. Janiya Shuniya. Janiya Shuniya means, so ordinary people do not even know. But here Narottam Das Thakur is telling, Janiya Shuniya. I know that this is poison. Janiya, I know, and Shuniya, I have heard also. The same words are used by Parikshit Maharaj in 6th canto of Bhagavatam, where the description of atonement is given. So Parikshit Maharaj tells that what is the use of this atonement? Drishtva shrutabhyam yat papam janan api atmano ahitam. Person has drishta, person has seen that these activities of material enjoyment or the crimes which people commit, the laws of nature when they break, they create distress in my life. So people do not know about ordinary activities, but everyone has got knowledge that this activity definitely creates misery in my life. I should not do this activity. Drishta, I have seen. Whenever I indulge in this activity, what happens to me? Misery. Shrutabhyam, and I have heard also from others. If you smoke, you will suffer. So even though I have experienced in my life, I have heard from others also. Janiya Shuniya Drishtva Shrutabhyam Yat Papam Janan Api. Although I know that personally, with my personal experience also. Atmano Hitam, that is ahit. It is not in my benefit, I suffer. But what happens? Karoti bhuyaha. Bhuya means, again I repeat the same activity. Why do I repeat same activity? Vivashaha. I do not have control. Helplessly, I indulge in same activity. So this is our state. We repeatedly indulge in the same activity, even though I know this is causing me harm. And even though I've heard from the scriptures, from other experienced people, this is not right activity, but still I helplessly am pulled into the same activity. Bhuyaha vivashaha. Then what is the use of atonement? Manye kunjar shauchvat. What is the use of such atonement? Because again, person will go and commit the same activity. So it is not going to help. So that is why most of the people are unaware that sense gratification is not good. They think this is life, let me enjoy. But we as devotees, we are knowing, we are convinced that yes, sense gratification is not right. I have to follow all the rules and regulations nicely, regulative principles very strictly. There is no escape. I have seen the most successful people are not happy. There is no other way to happiness but following Krishna consciousness, surrendering to Krishna completely. What will I do if I am saving time from Krishna consciousness, not surrendering? I am preserving my independence. What is the result? All those independent people just see what is their life. But still, I am not able to do it. Janiya Shuniya. Even after knowing, even after hearing, I am not able to surrender to Krishna completely. I hesitate. Why? Because karoti bhuyo vivashaha. This material nature is so very strong, it helplessly pulls us into sensual activities. That is why Krishna tells in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 60. Yatato hi api kaunteya purushasya vipaschita. What is the meaning of vipaschit? Yes. Man of discrimination, learned man, man of intelligence. Vipaschitaha. So people usually are not intelligent, but some people are intelligent. And yatata means one who is endeavoring to control the senses. Most of the people do not know I should control my senses. In this lies my happiness. They want to enjoy the senses, eat thorns. But some people who are endeavoring, struggling to control the senses, and such a person is foolish? No, vipaschita. He is learned man. He is in knowledge. But what happens to such a person? Indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. Pramathini means very, very powerful, impetuous. Suddenly, the senses, they overpower us, overpower our intelligence. Indriyas are so powerful. Haranti prasabham manaha. And they capture the mind immediately into sinful activity. Drag the mind into sinful activity. The senses are so very strong and impetuous that a learned man also gets carried away. So those people like us who are trying to follow, so we also get dragged away. Vipaschita, we know, we have understood, we have got some intelligence by the mercy of spiritual master in Krishna. So what is the remedy then? How do I know, I've heard, now how do I protect myself? How do I save my spiritual life from such impetuous, powerful senses which are dragging me into sense enjoyment, breaking the regulative principles? So that is why this verse is very important. So here Narsingh Dev is telling, Ya etat kirtayen mahiyam tvaya geetam idam naraha tvam cha mam cha smaran kale karma bandhat pramuchyate. This happens because of karma bandha, because of bondage. We are under control of laws of nature. Sandeep, Hare Krishna. So you can try to stand and hear because this is very important. That is what it is being told here. You chant and hear, you will be liberated. But Maya attacks at the right time. Now you sleep. So if somebody is not able to be attentive, I understand all of you are working very hard, office, then marathon is going on. So it might be there, but still somehow please try to be awake in Bhagavatam class and try to hear nicely. So what is the remedy? This is only the remedy. Ya etat kirtayen mahiyam tvaya geetam idam nara. You have sung this Gita. So this is Prahlāda Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Prahlāda Gita. Prahlāda Mahārāja sung these songs, these praises for Lord Narsingh Dev. So one who repeats these prayers, one who chants these prayers of Prahlāda Mahārāja, he chants and hears. And what does he do? He remembers your activities and my activities in connection with you. Tvam cha mam cha smaran kale. So when we chant and hear very nicely, what will happen? Smaran. We will reach to third stage and that is called smaranam. So we should try to come to this platform. Chanting and hearing should lead us to smaranam. If it is not leading, then that will not liberate us. That is why, as we discussed, when devotees asked, we discussed in the last class, if we die on Kirtan, shall we go back? Prabhupada told, if you think of Krishna, you will go back. If we don't think of Krishna, then we may not. So that is why chanting and hearing should be done in such a manner that immediately chanting reveals the form, qualities, and paraphernalia, associates of Krishna. And one has to aspire to reach such a stage of chanting. So chanting and hearing is the only process. We need not worry. So we just have to see how I can apply this process very nicely. Chanting and hearing, this is the solution, perfect solution. Sometimes I think, let me do something else and XYZ. So especially brahmacharya is a great challenge. The senses, they pull us, they don't allow us to follow very nicely. And we resort to various other things. Let me do this, let me do that. But please see Prabhupada's instructions, what Prabhupada has told, very simple things. Haridas Thakur, he was able to conquer his senses simply by the strength of chanting. Chanting and hearing, just try to do this thing. So the same process, we simply have to do it with faith, and we have to see that we try to improve our quality of chanting and hearing. This is the only solution. So if we do this, then what happens? Then it is told, karma bandhat pramuchyate, simply by this thing. That is why Shukdev Goswami, he was not told to do anything else. He was not told to do any yajna, any kind of deity worship also, or anything XYZ. He was simply told to chant, and yes, deity worship is also important because it helps us in chanting. But if my chanting is not improving and I'm simply doing deity worship, that means there is some mistake either in my deity worship or my chanting or in my other activities. So I should plan my day in such a manner that my chanting and hearing quality is always improving. Somehow that seriousness Maya takes away, and we take it very casually, this process of chanting. But no. So first we should have faith. If faith is that the process will work. If one is not having faith on Krishna, it will not work. So we should have faith in this process. Throughout the scriptures it is told, Parikshit Maharaj simply heard, and here Lord Narsingh Dev is also telling, simply one who chants and hears, he'll be liberated. No other process, he is telling to Prahlāda Mahārāja. Simply one who chants and hears. But chants and hears about whom? Both. Twamcha, mamcha, smaran kale. He should hear about you and hear about me. So Guru and Krishna both are important. So that is why one should glorify Krishna and one should glorify spiritual master both. These are the two tracks. Just like the railway engine runs on two tracks, two rails. In a similar fashion, Guru and Krishna, both are very important. So one should chant both Guru's praises, as we sing in Guru Vashtaka, in Guru Puja song, and then we sing Hare Krishna mantra also. Half of the time we sing the prayers, and then Hare Krishna, both happens. So both are very, very important. Guru and Krishna. Somewhere some people think, let me worship only Krishna. No, then it is not going to happen. One should serve the spiritual master along with service of Krishna. One should know the desires of the spiritual master, carry out specific order of the spiritual master. And some people tell, no, only Guru, no Krishna. The Mayavadis, for them Guru only is Krishna. So you go to their place, you will not find anything but Guru's photo everywhere. Guru, Guru, Guru. Everywhere Guru is there. So for them, Guru only is Krishna. So they just worship Guru, they chant the name of Guru. So that is Mayavad. Both are required. Guru Krishna Kripaye Paye, Bhakti Lata Bij. So both are important. But solution is this thing, only chanting and hearing. But how it has to be done? So that is explained here. So in 1976 in Delhi, one reporter is asking Prabhupada, are your disciples supposed to chant the mantra all the time? Prabhupada, yes, all my disciple is chanting. Reporter, are they supposed to chant the mantra throughout the day? Again, he repeats, he or she. Prabhupada, oh yes. Again he asks, all the time? People usually tell, no, 5 minutes you take the name of God, and they tell the story. I think some assumed story of Narad Muni, that Lord Narayan is praising. This my devotee is working very hard in the field, just once in a day or thrice in a day. How many times? Once, twice or thrice, whatever he remembers. And he is more dear to me than you. Narad, you have no other work. You simply chant entire day. Just see, he is working so hard and thrice he is taking my name. So he's more dear. So people get inspired. Yes, I should do my nice job, IT job. 18 hours I should work in my consulting job. And 3 times I will chant Hare Krishna in that. I'll become more dear to Krishna than Narad Muni. Narad Muni is spiritual master of the whole world, but he's having less knowledge. So like this, many assumed stories, they do rounds on TV and other things, so we should not put faith on them. Assumed stories of Krishna and assumed stories of the Lord are also there. As when Parikshit Maharaj, he was being explained, so it is told in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was told that you have already heard Ramcharitmanas, sorry, Ramayan. Ramcharitmanas is another version of this. Like this, so many versions of Lord Rama stories are there. So Shukdev Goswami tells, because you have heard it sufficiently, so I will explain it very, very briefly. And thus in Bhagavatam, a brief description of Lord Rama's pastimes are there. So there it is explained that many, many stories of Lord Ramchandra are there, and those books are not actually bona fide, and they are very famous, more famous than Valmiki Ramayana. And people think that is authorized. But many imaginary pastimes we may find there in such places. Imaginary pastimes of Lord Ramchandra. He went there, did this, did that. So one should not, that is why one should be very careful. If I have to hear about Lord Ramchandra, it must be from Valmiki Ramayana only, and that too translated by a pure devotee of Krishna. Otherwise, it will not help if we hear any other such story, even translated by a person who is not a pure devotee. It will not help us to come to spiritual platform. So that is why one should be very, very careful not to hear this and that. So people think that let me chant, just work very hard throughout the day for enjoying the senses, for drinking poison, and just let me chant couple of times and then my life is successful. So the reporter is perplexed. A disciple supposed to chant mantra all the time? Prabhupada, yes, all my disciples chanting. Are they supposed to chant mantra throughout the day? Oh yes, all the time? Prabhupada, just like I am talking with you, and as soon as talking stops, my hand is going, Hare Krishna. Kirtaniya Sada, reporter, is it possible to talk and also chant the mantra at the same time? So this is another conception of people. People think, oh, I should peacefully sit, go to my puja room, and then only in the morning after taking bath I will chant. In between it is offense. I should not chant like this. So when you chant, hold your mala, sit attentively, then only you chant. So various concoctions are, just like yesterday I was doing book distribution. So met some boys of NLU here. So very nice boy. He told, yes, this is very nice book. I like mythology. He was calling it mythology. And but then he told, but I cannot take it. I told, why? Told, because my room is not clean. So if I keep it in my room, then that will not be good. So I don't want to keep like this. So I told, you keep it anywhere, at least please take it. You keep it in your bag always. At least try to read it. But no, he was hesitant. So like this, people think mantra also, no. Tatrar pitani amita smarane kala. There are no hard and fast rules for, rather chanting must be done. Kirtaniya sadahari, always without any stoppage. And this, as we always discuss, it is the first injunction of Vaishnavism. It is told by Srila Prabhupada, by Haridas Thakur, by all the other devotees. This is the first principle. All the Goswamis practice it practically. And all the Acharyas practice, Prabhupada himself practiced. That is why disciple tells, another disciple is telling, that somehow Prabhupada was always chanting. Always. So some guests are coming, they stop talking. They are talking, Prabhupada is chanting. Prabhupada stops talking, he starts chanting again. And as we were discussing, I think in the ashram we are discussing. So usually when we cook, so while cooking, in some Vaishnava Sampradayas it is told, at least while cooking, they also appreciate chanting. But while cooking, you don't chant, because you may spit something or some fine droplets may come out, they may fly and they may spoil the bhoga. Bhoga should be pure. But when Prabhupada told, always chant, so when one disciple, Prabhupada, saw that he was chanting even while cooking, Prabhupada became very happy that he's doing like this. So thus, this is a principle, very important principle, and this is the first principle. Kirtaniya Sada Hari, chant always. Iron rod in fire, it should be in fire. In fire, out of fire. In fire, out of fire. Then effect will not take place. So thus, always we are supposed to chant throughout the day. So thus, the reporter asks, is it possible to talk and also to chant the mantra at the same time? Prabhupada, yes, that requires practice. So it will not be possible that immediately we start chanting again. That requires practice. and quality also is maintained, that requires, but that is possible. Prabhupada explains that requires practice. Just like the woman is cooking and she is also talking. Woman is cooking also and talking also. Does it mean cooking is bad? No. Otherwise, even simple things, when we see some in folk residency, we train some people to do deity worship. So they start ringing the incense, start moving the bell. Both things, both hands are moving. They don't know how to ring the bell and show the incense at the same time. One is to and fro, another is circular. So they get confused. So it takes little bit of practice, but then they can do everything. Just like learning to ride bicycle. So they have to be very, very alert. Even though they are alert, they will fall down. But then they can leave their hands like they can simply stand also on bicycle, some experts, and bicycle is going on. That requires practice. So thus it requires practice, but this practice is supposed to be done. And this is the first instruction. Rest, everything will follow later. We all know that chanting has to be of very good quality in order to give us liberation. Otherwise, with offenses, 10 offenses, we can keep on chanting for millions of births, Prabhupada tells. You will not get success. Chant for millions of lifetimes. But how do we avoid offenses against the chanting? It is told simply by chanting always 24 hours. This is the solution to make the chanting offenseless. It does not mean the cooking is going bad. It is practice. Then even though we are talking to people, in between we chant, it does not mean that chanting is of poor quality. That chanting also will be of very good quality. While we are doing our activities, that chanting also will be of very good quality. But that requires practice. Then Prabhupada explains in lecture 6th canto. So our business is, as you have already adopted, that we should chant according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's recommendations. That, what is the recommendation? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's recommendation? Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. 24 hours we have to chant this holy name of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The idea is, as I have already, now what is the idea? Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is insisting chant 24 hours? So Prabhupada is explaining. The idea is, as I have already told you. Anybody knows what is the idea? Yes? Okay. Anything else? So Prabhupada explains. The idea is, as I have already told you, the one chanting Hare Krishna mantra is sufficient to dismantle the structure of your sinful life immediately. One chanting of Hare Krishna is sufficient. Cheto Darpan Marjanam can happen simply by one chanting. So if a person tells, yes, I have chanted quality Prabhu, now my heart is cleansed. And it is fact, if we chant in ecstasy, that one such chanting is sufficient to liberate us. When one is able to chant in ecstasy, and many of us would have chanted in ecstasy many times, but still, even though we have chanted in ecstasy, still it is told, Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Why? So Prabhupada explains. The idea is, as I have already told you, the one chanting Hare Krishna mantra is sufficient to dismantle the structure of your sinful life immediately. One chanting of Hare Krishna. If it is purely chanted, one is sufficient. But as we know that we are not so powerful that after dismantling the structure of our sinful life, we are not prone to fall down again. We are prone to fall down again. Therefore, Kirtaniya Sadahari. We should chant always, always chant. So we have got liberated. The sinful life structure has been dismantled, but we are not strong enough to remain on platform of sinlessness or purity. Again, we will get carried away. We are not strong to counter the force of Maya. Maya will again pull us to same activities. So that is why Prabhupada is telling, but as we know, we are not so powerful that after dismantling the structure of our sinful life, we are not prone to fall down again. We are prone to fall down again. Therefore, Kirtaniya Sadahari, we should chant always, always chant. Then Prabhupada gives lecture. Then further he comes to the point, the same point again. So if we follow, if we stay strictly on this principle, then as it is recommended here that Na yat punah karmasu sajjate manorajastamobhyam kalilam tato anyatha. So if you keep yourself always antiseptic by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, then the mind will not be attracted to the qualities of ignorance and passion. Why we are repeatedly, even though we have been trying for a long time, for days, months, or years, why we again indulge in sinful activities? Because mind gets attracted to sensual activities. If mind does not get attracted, shall we do that activity? No. We are following the dictates of mind. So here Prabhupada is giving the solution. If you keep yourself always antiseptic by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, then the mind will not be attracted to the qualities of ignorance and passion, and you will safely make progress in your spiritual life, Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, one fall down could be very, very dangerous. Bharat Maharaj just once got attracted, and then spiritual life took a halt and he degraded to animal species. So we never know how much we will fall down once we fall, or which fall down can be very fatal. So one should be very, very careful. That is why it is told Shurasya Dharya. One should be very, very cautious. So if you keep yourself always antiseptic by chanting Hare Krishna, then the mind will not be attracted to the qualities of ignorance and passion, and we make very safe progress in spiritual life. Then when another devotee wrote to Prabhupada about how to control sexual urges, Prabhupada writes, so this devotee, he mentions the name, must subdue his sex desire by constant chanting of Hare Krishna and praying to Krishna to help him. So chanting also not as formality. Chanting should be in the mood of Prabhupada as praying. Just like small child cries for mother. Child knows nobody but mother. So the child cries just like the genuine cry of a child for mother. This chanting should be there 24 hours. So Hare Krishna means I'm praying to Krishna, please save me from Maya, please engage me in your service. In this mood, chanting should happen. So chanting always and praying to Krishna. So that is why Prabhupada's devotees praise incessantly every moment throughout the day. This is pure devotee. Pure devotee knows how dangerous the material world is. So thus he is always praying incessantly to Krishna for safety, for protection. Another conclusive quote. So the devotee is telling his memory. Like Prabhupada's preaching, his chanting was constant. While talking in his room with professors in Toronto, Prabhupada silently chanted the Hare Krishna mantra in between their academic words. The professors were talking, and in between, Prabhupada was silence. He was chanting. When Prabhupada encouraged his disciples to chant Hare Krishna while sitting with them during a prasadam feast. So prasadam feast was happening, and Prabhupada also, usually Prabhupada would not be there, but this time he sat with the devotees. So in the prasadam feast, Prabhupada told everyone to chant. Our devotees told, should we eat or should we chant? When Prabhupada encouraged his disciples to chant Hare Krishna while sitting with them during a prasadam feast, one of the devotees replied, but Swamiji, they were calling him Swamiji at that time. But Swamiji, how we can chant and eat at the same time? Intelligent question, no? How we can eat and chant at the same time? Chant it between the bites, said Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was so particular. Chant in between the bites. So this is very important, most important, and sufficiently important instruction. Then every instruction will follow later. We need so many things to make our spiritual life success. So many qualities are required. But what is told in second chapter? Sorry, in Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janapari, 9th chapter. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paryupasate. Those who are without any deviation, Ananyaha Chintayanto Mam, they are always thinking of me, always constantly engaged in my service. Then what happens? Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Without any deviation, it has to be done constantly. Then what happens? Yoga Kshema. I give whatever they lack, and I preserve whatever they have, spiritually and materially also. So that is why we are struggling to take care of our material life. Our material life becomes very comfortable if I thoroughly engage myself in Krishna's service. This is the secret of even a comfortable material life. Whole world is unaware of this knowledge. Simply we have to, without any deviation, always chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then everything will follow. Enthusiasm will come, determination will come, patience will come, sense control will come. Simply we have to try to follow this instruction very nicely. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Always remind each other 24 hours. And if you do not do this, we try anything else, it will not be successful. This is the first principle. So the whole world is unaware that this is the solution of all spiritual material problems. Greatly successful people are greatly depressed. So we have the solution in these books. These books only are going to transform the lives of people. So let us try to read them very nicely every day with great attention and care. Worship this reading process, Prabhupada explains, and then distribute it, especially in this month, as much as possible to others. Distribute in the mood that I am saving this person from repeated birth and death, from eternal birth and death, from eternal miseries. I am saving this person. It will act extraordinarily. So I should pray to Krishna when we go out for book distribution, please make me instrument to help people. It is not ordinary, it is extraordinary thing what we are doing. So we should tell people, please read this, and if possible, try to come and hear from the devotees this knowledge. Then all your problems of life will be fixed. So we have to understand, first of all, this material world is poison. We should not desire any happiness here in this life. As soon as we work for happiness, the conditions of distress will start immediately. I should simply plan how to make Krishna happy. That's it, no other plan. And then I'll be happy. But even after knowing this, senses are so strong, they will carry away our mind to sinful activities. So, what is the antiseptic? Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always chant 24 hours. But both Krishna and spiritual master. Krishna and his pure devotee, Narsimhadev and Prahlāda Mahārāja. That is why we don't just chant Jai Narsimhadev. Namaste Narsingaya Prahlāda Daine. Both are important. So in this way, thinking of Guru and Krishna always, our lives will be successful. So we'll end here unless we have questions. Yes. So the question is, it is told that yogis, they take birth in advanced families, even one who has done little devotional service. If he is very advanced, then he will take birth in a Vaishnava family. And if he has done little advancement, not much, then what will happen? Birth in the family of devotee will not be given, but he will take birth in Brahmana family, pure pious family, or he will take birth in family of rich merchants. And before that, what will happen? He will go to heavenly planets and enjoy life because he has done so much of tapasya. He will have unlimited comforts, whatever sacrifice he has done here. So somebody may ask, यहाँ भी छोड़ दिया, वहाँ भी नहीं मिलेगा. Then what will happen to me? I could not enjoy much here, neither there. So Krishna tells, no problem. You'll go to heaven. Whatever little bit you have sacrificed, many times more you will enjoy there. And then you will come down to the family of a pious Brahmana or a rich man. Or you are more advanced, then no heaven and here and there. Directly take birth in Vaishnava family. But we see in the case of Bharat Maharaj, who was on Bhava platform, extremely advanced, almost successful, he became a deer in next life. How to understand this? So that is why the general statements are given there. Just like in law, there are exceptions and exceptions to exceptions. So in a similar fashion, such exceptions are there. So this was exceptional case. So that is why the warning is given. Ordinarily, your life will be successful, but why take risk? Yes. Not four regulative principles. First regulative principle is chanting, and then 4 regulative principles. Yes. So the question is, if you, as every morning we read Prabhupada quotes after Mangalarti. So today's quote was, if you follow the regulative principles very nicely, keep yourself pure, then your preaching will meet success. So what is this preaching? This now success means external success. We'll see the results in preaching, or internal success. What will it have? So external success. That is why it is told that, but initially we should not worry, of course. Prabhupada tells, initially you have to do self-purification. And when disciple was discussing with Prabhupada this, so Prabhupada told, you have to wait for the time. You have to chant and here follow the regulative principles very nicely. And then you have to wait for the time when you are spiritually surcharged, electrified. So by following all the rules and regulations, engaging in service of spiritual master nicely, we will be electrified with spiritual life. Then wherever we go, wherever we talk, wherever we sit, wherever we eat, that place will be purified by our presence over there, simply by our presence. And then wherever you go, wherever you do preaching, there will be result. So result is not so easy. So Prabhupada tells you have to wait for that time. So yes, this is there. So if you follow very nicely, eventually there will be time. So there is no impediment. One will be able to preach and have practical results, change the hearts of others. Online. So we'll finish. Achha. Okay, no problem. So we'll finish. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की